From stage siren to silver screen star, West End staple Joanna Ampil made her feature film debut in last year's musical period film, Ang Larawan. And with it came awards left and right.
Ako si Miss Marasigan.
Joanna's fierce portrayal of Candida earned raves from critics and fans alike, marking the arrival of a new film talent. The question now is, how far can Joanna go? And where will this wave of newfound success take her? Joanna Ampil, welcome to Leading Women.
Thank you.
And congratulations on the continuing success of Ang Larawan.
Yeah, I know.
Best Actress at the MMFF. Did you expect this to happen?
A lot of people were mentioning it to me and they were rooting for me, but I never expected anything. It was still quite a surprise when my name was announced.
Mm-hmm. Were you surprised that you were cast in the film? Because you're always out of the country, you're traveling, you're doing shows abroad.
My manager at that time, Girly Rhodes, kept mentioning it to me. This was in 2008. She said, I want you to play Candida. I knew about it from then on. This was 10 years ago. So when it finally happened, I kind of knew that I'm playing this part. Therefore, I have to really immerse myself into the script and the music.
You mentioned Candida. Yeah. Your character in Ang Larawan. How different is Candida from Joanna?
When I was reading about the character and I was trying to study it, I just found it really difficult. Like, how am I gonna play this part when I'm such a practical person? I would have probably sold the painting. Her decision making also is so different from mine. But I had to put that aside and just become the part. I had to do it without any judgments. I became Candida. We had an 8-month rehearsal period. I couldn't help but become the character and take it home, to the point that I was getting ill already and wanting to quit. But I had a lot of help. Loy was very helpful. We had Jake Macapagal, who mentored me also and helped me blossom into the part.
Quitting meaning that you just wanted to leave the character?
Yeah, I was overwhelmed, I think, and I felt inadequate. A lot of things were going on in my head. This is beyond me, all those things. But then Jake came along and he helped me because he knows me as a person and he knows what works for me. He was an angel. He was a savior for me, when I was doing the part.
How did he convince you? Are there certain words that he used for you to stay?
Just his presence, being there, comforted me, and he was very encouraging. And words of encouragement really helped me. Some people thrive on being challenged and they thrive on being discouraged. So they rise above it. Whereas me, I work better when people encourage me. I feel appreciated. That's when I give more. And at that time, I felt very discouraged, therefore I caved in. So when Jake came along, he was like, yeah, you're good enough. Basically, he was giving me the idea that I was enough for the character. That's what helped me.
Ryan Cayabyab, how did he help you or convince you to stay on?
I'm such a musical person. Every time I hear music, it gives me that buzz, puts me in such a good mood. Having Ryan there also, his whole presence is so positive. That helped me too. And that's why I call him my ray of sunshine.
Oh, you have an angel in Jake and your ray of sunshine in Ryan.
Exactly, yeah. And also Rachel. We bonded in Larawan. We became close because she was also very, very encouraging towards me. I sound so needy.
You sound so human.
I think when you are feeling inadequate, and that's okay because you can be needy. People are there to help you. The things that you need will be provided.
That's a beautiful lesson for someone who's been working in theater for a long time. You've taken on different challenging roles, and then to be very humble at admitting that you could be needy. When it came to Ang Larawan.
So far, my biggest challenge was Larawan.
How about the challenge of this beautiful film being pulled out in the theaters? Another challenge for you as an artist.
It wasn't so daunting because I believed in the piece so much and I knew that we had something very special. Something good is about to happen here. I felt that. I kept praying about it. So I knew that whatever happens is going to be what's meant to be. So when it was pulled out of the theaters, I knew that it's probably going to take a while, but I'm sure the producers will still get their money back, all those things. And we know that we've done our best. It's a labor of love. It's very special, and it's a classic. So it doesn't really matter what people say and what people do. And there are still people who were rooting for Larawan at that time, so it wasn't so daunting.
Until now, it's still being shown in schools, and a lot of people are appreciating the kind of hard work that the entire team has put in, that you've put in, and
It's ongoing.
Still, yes, and again, congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Winning Best Actress for your first film here in the country.
It's nice to be recognized in your own country, because of course I've been working a lot abroad, and to finally have that, it's a different feeling. It's really, really special. And my mom and dad witnessing that also was really special. And that's why it moved me to tears when I accepted the award.
It was also special because you thanked your dad and
Yeah.
said, just do your best.
I was asking him about his Christmas present, and he said, just make sure that you win that trophy.
Ang Larawan was an original Pinoy musical with almost all dialogue sung by various performers. It was unlike anything available in cinemas. Surprising many, Ang Larawan scored 6 Metro Manila Film Festival awards, going from small and underseen to a Philippine phenomenon.
Right behind us, we have your awards.
Yes.
For
These are all for
Larawan.
Larawan.
Yes. You have the
We have
Puno Villegas.
Oh yes, that one, the Cultural Award.
Yeah.
We've got 6 altogether
Oh,
during the
wow.
MMFF. This one's for Best Picture, which is the most important one, I think. We've got the book also. We have this with the
For
soundtrack.
the vinyl.
And this one has got the play in English and Tagalog,
Tagalog.
and the libretto. And we've got some pictures from the movie also, and from the original musical play.
Why is it important that we show this kind of film to the Filipinos?
This is something that is about our culture. It's very much like ours. I usually describe it to my friends from different parts of the world because they constantly ask me, what's it about? And the way I describe Larawan is like, it's our Les Miserables in the country. We need to show the youth, this generation, what it was like during that time, during that era. It opens up a lot of minds and eyes. It doesn't just happen in the Philippines, it happens in different parts of the world also. Like I said, it's going to be a classic, it's going to outlive us because it's a constant problem. It's part of our culture.
Next on Leading Women, we go back in time and talk to Joanna about her roots in musical theater and how her success abroad shaped her today. With her work on Ang Larawan winding down, Joanna Ampil is going back to her roots, preparing for another tour of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats. Joanna is a stage actress first and foremost, and has been a performer almost all her life.
I know that you have a lot of throwback hashtags on your social media page. 25 years ago, when you were taking over Jamie Rivera as Kim in Miss Saigon, but we'll do more throwbacks. We won't only stop at the 25 years. We'll go back to the time when you were a child and you were performing and you loved music. This is where your love for theater came about. Take us back.
I started singing at 6. This was through the encouragement of my parents. You know, they would buy me backing tracks. Sometimes they would record my voice singing so I could play it back and listen to the sound of my voice. So they were very, very encouraging, very, very helpful, as well as my school teachers. They would always put me in school programs. So I think that's how I developed my love for live performance and performing in front of an audience without any fear. It's invaluable what you learn from those experiences. And I owe it to them, really, because they were my first teachers. My dad loves musicals and live performances. So I suppose, you know, I got it from him.
Joanna made her name in musical theater, joining the likes of Lea Salonga and Jamie Rivera on the list of homegrown talents making the jump overseas. getting the chance to shine center stage on Broadway and West End, with a resume that reads like a list of the most coveted roles in theater.
The first theater play that I watched was Joseph the Dreamer. That's when I realized that I want to do this. I want to play, I want to be in a musical and do a live performance and act and sing.
How old were you then?
I was 16, and then a year later, I auditioned for Miss Saigon and I got it. It's just igniting that fire inside me.
At 17, you were still in school. You auditioned, you got the part, you left.
I left. And
That's how fast things happen.
Yep, I left with my mom. I was in London at 17. So I didn't go to college, I didn't go to university. But when I was doing Les Mis as Eponine, I managed to take a course in marketing and public relations and advertising. So I did that because I just felt that it's important to have something else.
In between shows.
It was during the day, yeah, and then do the show at night.
You're very hardworking. You always have goal.
I love learning and I love taking on different challenges because that's how I thrive on that.
Did you always think this way? When you started, when you were 17, were your thoughts of something like this? That you have to be stimulated?
I have a lot of regrets because I wish I always think back and I wish I had done piano. I wish I danced more, and all those things. I just want to keep doing things because I don't want to waste time.
Before, when you were younger, you just keep on going.
Yeah, I kept on going and
Show after
sometimes-
show, character after character.
I did a lot of not very sensible things too. I was a teenager after all.
You were able to do
I didn't
that,
miss out
enjoy.
on anything. I didn't miss out on anything, that's for sure.
Which is good because sometimes when one just keeps on working, you miss out on the fun. You miss out on the happy moments. You miss out on time for yourself and time to just take a step back.
Oh
and-
yeah.
and-
I did a lot of reflecting also, and I think that's very important to reflect on a lot of things and reflect on life and what you want. And I did a lot of that. Hence me being a sensitive person. I think it's part of being an actor too, when you take things to heart.
different characters, different types of personalities
Yes.
in one Joanna. How do you manage all of this?
I have to make sure that I learn how to switch off in the evening because sometimes when I'm immersing myself in a role, you tend to forget yourself. And I've been doing this for 25 years and it doesn't get any better, it doesn't get any easier. But my passion is there, I love it so much and that's why I keep doing it. I just have to make sure that I still find myself within it.
Grisabella in Cats. Where's Joanna in Grisabella?
There's a lot of Joanna in Grisabella, that's for sure. She's reflective and that's like me. And I think that's what makes the character unique because you put your own touch to it. You put your own personality into the character. She has 3 words or 3 descriptions. She's proud, indomitable, and hurt. And I can be all those 3.
Kim in Miss Saigon. Very innocent. Fearful, would you say?
Fearful and fearless at the same time. I think that character taught me a lot of things, lessons in life. Kim taught me a lot about love, good and bad. It's also my foundation. It served as my training ground for future shows and future roles.
Eponine.
Eponine is such an enjoyable part, just having fun. And I really enjoyed playing Eponine.
We did Kim when you were 17, 18, Eponine in your 20s, Grisabella now, Candida, Filipina, struggling with all the issues that she was faced with. Where's Joanna in Candida?
Being feisty, I suppose. Being cantankerous also, I can be. And the love for her family, her dad, her sibling, standing her ground. That's me. And love for her traditions also. The character was so full and was so much with me. I just became her. I want to think that I was really Candida then, and crying and all was Candida. And she would probably cry at night, because she couldn't handle it anymore. Like she said, hindi ko na kaya, diba? And she would keep a lot of things inside her. And that's why she broke down. I am big on principles, and I know Candida is also.
Coming up on Leading Women, Joanna's success in both film and theater has opened many doors. And we find out what Joanna hopes to achieve in the future.
on your face.
From the local auditoriums in the Philippines to the most famous theaters in London, and now to the big screen, Joanna Ampil is conquering theaters and capturing hearts all over the world. With new and exciting opportunities seemingly on the horizon, what does Joanna have in store?
You do West End and you do shows here in the Philippines, you do theater and film. How different are the two from each other?
Your audience will change. In film, you just have the camera as your audience. But the core is being truthful to it and just being the character.
As an Asian girl, what were the challenges that you faced?
I had, a lot of wonderful people that I worked with who embraced me. So I never looked at it as a challenge, especially when I was auditioning. I thought it was going to be a challenge, auditioning for Fantine and all these roles that are meant to be for Caucasians. But instead, I looked at it as an advantage because I offered something completely different from what others could offer. It was a breath of fresh air for some of people in the panel. I looked at that as a plus because this is what I have, and I know it's different from what you probably perceive, but it could be a good thing. And they embraced that. There are a lot of rejections also, but I managed to play the parts that are quite important. I've been very, very blessed that I've got a lot of roles that I've played, iconic roles that are loved by a lot of theater aficionados, and also some of them are coveted roles as well. So yeah, I've been very blessed.
Joanna spends a lot of her time nowadays on the road, living out of a suitcase as she goes back and forth and back again between Manila, London, and wherever Kat is going on tour. But Joanna says that this is a life that suits her.
You have your hashtag Joanna Ampil stories.
Yeah.
Yes. You have your stories from your travels, you have your stories from your shows, and you have your personal stories of what makes you happy and what keeps you grounded. You developed this by being by yourself.
Yeah.
By being away from family. By cultivating your own family wherever you are. What do you like most about this kind of life?
I have time for myself, and I learned how to enjoy my own company.
Do you ever get tired, or do you think of retiring, semi-retirement, just to take a break and to breathe and to do more reflecting?
Not at all. I don't have that in mind yet, retiring, no. I am thinking of new challenges, actually, of what else I can do, what else I can contribute to the arts.
How much do you love Filipino arts?
I suppose not enough. I haven't contributed much. For me, I feel that I haven't contributed, apart from Larawan, which is very, very special, and that's why it's quite a feat to have done that. And I'd like to do more here. I feel the appreciation of Filipinos after having done Larawan. It's so special. So hopefully I get given that chance, to do more things for them.
You've done so many iconic characters. Are there other characters that you would like to play?
Oh yeah, always. I would love to play Mary Poppins, but I don't know how feasible that is. I love Dreamgirls, but I know I will never play that.
How do you keep yourself fresh? How do you keep your thoughts fresh, your mind fresh? How do you evolve?
I take on different challenges. I tried recording, which is also something that I'm passionate about. I try to add new skills. So you're constantly evolving, you're constantly learning, and I think that's how you keep things fresh.
What do you think of the wave now? If it's safe to say it's a wave of women asserting themselves, making their voice heard, the hashtag Time's Up, the hashtag of equal rights, and women marching on the streets so that their voice would be heard, so that they would be given a platform to speak their mind.
Well, aren't we lucky that we live in this generation when that is happening? So that's how I see it. We're finally being heard, and those things are finally happening. This is also the generation when they started opening doors for multiracial casting, and I'm happy that I was there, So.
Dreamgirls is not far-fetched.
Correct.
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah. Think positive.
A leading woman, Joanna. Who for you is a leading woman, or what does it mean to be a leading woman?
Recognizing your flaws, mistakes, that it's okay to have that and to to recognize that, because we are human after all. You don't have to be extra special. You just have to be yourself and show the world that it's okay to be that. And I think that's how you teach. That's what I'm imparting to people who want to know what it's like to be me or what it's like to be a leading person. Because really, I never see myself as a star or a leading person. It's just, I'm just being me, and I'm happy that I'm being accepted in that way.
Joanna Ampil, thank you very much
thank
for inviting us into your beautiful world.
Thank you.
For
Thank you for having me.
showing us your heart and your soul. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's fair to say Joanna Ampil has done it all. She succeeded in theater and in film, and has continued to pave the way for world-class Filipina talent to make waves abroad. And yet, even with 25 years in the performing arts, her film debut proves that she has still so much to give, and that Joanna is just getting started.